wonderful environment, and they go, I really am doing that. And I'd say, well, why wouldn't you want to market and talk about that and talk about what you're bringing to the world, that when they buy your piece, they can get a part of that. And it changes them as well. They've never thought about that way. As you say, it's that being a pest marketing they're thinking about rather than attracting people to the beauty of what they're doing. So
exactly. Well, and also the other thing about that attraction, Jackie, is that instead of asking people and trying to sell people, do you want this, do you want this, do you want this, when you use attraction marketing, you put yourself in the way, you cross paths with people who are open to and probably even looking for what you have. So
absolutely.
It's not like you have to talk someone into it.
Right.
They're looking for this, and now the only decision is your product or service the right one for them? And there's no reflection on the quality or you as a person if they say, no, this isn't quite right for me. It's no.
And Ronnie, of course, that's one of the gifts of the internet and having a wonderful website and doing so much web-based marketing is that people are looking for things. Maybe even 12 years ago or 15 years ago, as the internet was just getting going, we were all so enamored with it. Remember when we would just spend hours, just looking at all the stuff that was on the search engines, and now we've gotten so much more sophisticated that we are looking for exact things. We don't go, just look for a one noun anymore for something that we want. We are looking for this plus this plus this plus this in this location. And, we're being very specific. So I say the same thing, to my better, smarter, richer clients. I say, you might be looking for clients, but they are also looking for you.
Exactly.
Just remember that.
And it's so interesting that you mentioned the internet. In the age of the internet, I have noticed things have changed significantly in the past 15 years, Jackie, and I'm sure you have too. We have now, first of all, there are a lot of economy things going on, but besides that, the internet has taught people to shop in a different way.
Yes.
And also, it has created this culture of free. And so people are not quite so, well, especially since the economy changed, not quite so free and easy with their cash. And so people are pickier and so more discriminating, so to speak. And they're also going to be, they're going to look for exactly what they want. And even if they're not looking for it and they find it, they may want to buy, but we've all been burned. We've all been burned by buying stuff on the internet. And so one thing that has become incredibly important, and it's always been important socially, but that has been social proof. And these days, we can get it through reviews and stuff like that. It used to be you can put a few testimonials on your website and people believed them, and now everybody knows how easy testimonials are to fake. You can grab a picture of your sister and write a fake testimonial. So these days, third-party reviews are really taking over in terms of the influence, and websites like Angie's List are doing especially well, or sites like Yelp, because they represent real reviews as opposed to what could possibly be fake reviews. Yes,
that's very true. I hadn't put it all together that way. That's very interesting, and the minute you say it, I can see that happening. And we have changed how we shop. We are much pickier. We are much more discriminating. And we have an awareness that actually you can find anything that you can imagine that you might be looking for. It's very clear that in the global marketplace there is no dearth of goods and or services or ideas or presentations being made, that you can find anything that you could dream up. And so we are much more discriminating, but as you say, that third-party review is a good thing. So people doing that are doing well with their businesses.
Oh, absolutely. And then the other thing that's changed is that we finally have a way to do two-way communication. It used to be, back in the day, you could have a TV ad or radio or something in, a press release out there or Yellow Pages ad, but there was very little way for people to respond except to write you letters or to call you. Now we have this very transparent two-way communication with our clients. So that people can talk to us on our social media pages, they can talk to us on our website, and these conversations are open to the public, which is really exciting. And two things have happened. number one, how we handle negative feedback tells a lot of people about the values of our organization. So we can say we're super nice people, but if we quash all complaints or don't respond well, then that can definitely affect our reputation. And then the other thing, which is so cool, and it's been all over the marketing community in the past couple of months, but Popular Science just did a study. And as a result of that study, they closed down comments on their blog. And the reason for that is that they discovered that trolls, or people who were just commenting to incite chaos and to be negative, would actually change the perception of the veracity or the value of the information that was originally presented. And this was amongst scientists.
Wow.
Yeah, so that that feedback started changing people's minds and created the element of doubt and mistrust where there shouldn't be. So they stopped that, and they released the results of this study. And I find this really interesting in terms of marketing. So how we handle that is how we handle that feedback that we get from people is super important. But also how negative feedback is going to influence even our own happy clients are going to end up being negatively influenced by negative comments. So it's so important for us to be able to manage this and to present overwhelming evidence, in our favor.
Well, it certainly seems that, given that not only the prevalence of this kind of communication back and forth, but the speed of it, that maybe the person who gets on their high horse and is very arrogant, okay, or doesn't respond, or isn't there to do service, and they come across that way, they're going to have a heck of a time because it's going to be visible instantly.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then, of course, the downside of this, though, is that it really creates this whole environment of free and this instant accessibility and total transparency, because sometimes set up negative expectations. I mean, unfortunately, I get a bunch of direct messages on Facebook and also through my other social media asking me very specific questions and for very specific help. And I let people know that all of my free information is available here, here, and here. And if they would like to set up a session to discuss details and strategies to move forward, I'm happy to do that. But they get mad and they say, well, it's just one question.
What do you say?
Yeah, I say, you're right, and it's a great question, and it requires a longer answer. So if you want to see what I've already written about it, here's a link. Or if you would like to set up a session, here's a link.
That's really good. That's really good. Because, and it's certainly true. I think that one of the things, because I talk about it from a different angle, what you're talking about. I talk about it from the angle of how you price your work. And, this is just another face of that same coin that you're talking about. And, I keep reminding people that they have spent years, you too, years gaining the skills and the knowledge and the sophistication and the awareness and, tying it all together and, bringing it forward to help people so that you can give them an answer to a situation they ask you about. And, it isn't an off-the-top-of-the-head answer. It is, I always used to say in accounting, the answer to a question is always, it depends. And, I think that's true in many, many cases, because when they're asking you for that information, it depends. You want to know the circumstances, you want to know the details, you want to know, who was in the room, how important they are, how big the product is, how much money was spent, what time of day it was, who they're working with. So it always depends, and that taps into those years of experience that you have. And we don't just charge for the answer. We're charging for the answer embedded in years of experience. Exactly.
Well, in just the same way a doctor cannot prescribe over the phone, doctor, I have a red rash on my elbow.
Right.
How is he supposed to know? It could be a number of different things. And in the same way, we need to know. We need to have context, and context is important, and that's what takes time.
Yes. So what I'm hearing is that you probably, as well as your clients, and therefore you're teaching your clients, have been pushed really hard to keep giving away high-level professional information free because it's on the Internet, and we've helped people get used to finding things for free on the Internet.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing is, Jackie, you can tell people, you can get a ton of books from Amazon or borrow them from the library on marketing and sales, thousands of books. But the problem is that books aren't interactive, and that's why I don't mind giving away a bunch of information for free. I mean, I don't want to give away my service for free, but I will give away information for free because I have found that most people are struggling not from lack of information, but from lack of guidance. They want to know what's important for them, and that is where the value of my experience comes in. You know, that's the value of sitting down with someone, who knows what they're talking about, sitting down with that expert who can tell you this is what you want to focus on, and this is what's right for you in this situation, whether it's a doctor or an accounting professional or a hairdresser or a
business coach.
Yeah, exactly. Any of those things. It always depends on your situation, and that's why I don't mind giving away a bunch of stuff for free. I think it's actually a good idea because it demonstrates my level of expertise, and it also keeps people coming back for more.
Yes. Very good. I love this conversation. This is very interesting. You know, I work part-time as an advisor for our Small Business Development Center, and we keep saying our secret sauce is that we offer classes combined with one-on-one advising. And the way I put it is that people are really smart. You know, they get the principles of whatever it is we're teaching in the classes, but the one-on-one advising helps them apply it to their specific business. You know, so they got it, they understand the theory. What they don't know is the application to their situation, and that's what you're talking about, you know, and that's the wisdom, you know, when you can take the knowledge and adapt it to someone's particular situation, and that makes it worthwhile for them. And, you know, that's why our clients move forward, because they get that 1-2 punch, you know, they get the information and they get the how to apply it to them, and that's exactly what you're talking about. You know, they can pick up basic information on your website or, you know, in your blog or reading it, but the application to their situation, which is what makes it work, is, you know, what they need to pay for.
Exactly. Well, and I would add one more step, because I say, and the steps the way I think of them is what to do, how to do it, and then getting it done. Those are the three key issues. And what to do, we have so many options, and that's where we can help them figure out what's going to be right for them and their business model. Number 2, how to do it. You and I both provide training in how to do these things. And the cool thing is that once people learn these skills, they can either do it themselves or outsource, but they can do it from a position of strength and knowledge, and they're not wasting time, effort, and money. And then 3, getting it done. That's the one-on-one accountability and the group support that I offer and that you offer that is so helpful. And this is what makes people feel confident and comfortable and secure and start moving forward. Yes.
They love that. And they love knowing that they're going to come to the group and somebody's going to say, Tom, I thought you were going to blah, 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 blah. And then Tom says he's got to explain it to somebody. And that's a wonderful thing. You know, hold your toes to the fire that you're going to do what you said you were going to do, or what we all worked through and decided would be a good plan to take you where you want to go. And I know I do a lot of business advising, more than anything else that I do. And I'll say to people, when we set some goals and set a direction, I am going to keep us moving there. Now, you can change the direction if you want. All you have to do is let me know, because it's your business. You know, I'll have some input about it, but you can change it. But I am not going to change direction until you tell me, and I am going to keep us moving towards the goals that we set. Okay? That's where I'm going to go.
Well, and it's so helpful. And the thing I like about this sort of relationship is that it's non-reciprocal. So it's entirely in the client's best interest. They don't have to listen to us talk about stuff, about personal stuff. They don't have to wade through a relationship to get the support and the help they need. It can be all about them without having to worry about maintaining that give and take that's in a regular relationship. And this is why people have such trouble getting that sort of support from a spouse or from a friend or even from a business partner, because there is so much